You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's showtime. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time.
In what can only be described as a stressful few hours, Dolphin fans went through every emotion possible to break down everything that happened on day one of the Dolphins joint practice with the Detroit Lions. I'm going to hand it over to the host of the Go Time Dolphin podcast, who's going to tell everyone what time it is.
It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. Got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast, and official affiliates of Fanatics, where you could be a fanatic of your favorite franchise. I was cool, Kadeem. Everybody was scrambling. You know what I'm saying? It hit my group chat. Everybody was feeling some type of way, and all the injuries happening and all the other good stuff. I'm like, yo, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And I caught one. I was on Twitter for a split second, and I seen highlights, Kadeem. Old Tua highlights of, you know what? It's not even. I want to say it's old, like 2022 old. It was like last season. I'm like, bro, look what we got. When our QB is in the building, we're good. You know what I'm saying? So as long as it's not QB1.
The fourth quarter against the Bills, where he drives down the field, Dolphins.
That's exactly what I caught. Like it just came across the side. Like, yeah, look, we're good. We're good here. Waddle catches the ball in the end zone, doesn't even do the waddle. Everybody excited. I'm like, bro, listen. I understand when we're in the middle of the fire. It's like, yo, what are we gonna do? Bills are mopping the floor with us. This and that. Bills are big brother in us. We can't beat the Bills. Fire everybody. And I just said this the other day. We're gonna get to camp, but I just said this the other day, Kadeem. Like, if we really, really look at it, if we pulled up the stuff, isn't Tua like undefeated in the division? Like, he's never lost to anybody but the Bills in our division.
Oh, yeah. That's a 100% fact. He's never lost to the Bills, so never lost to the Paper Planes, never lost to the Patriots.
Never lost to the Paper Planes, never lost to the Patriots. Now let's examine the Bills games. He beat the Bills once, yes.
Yeah.
Then we had the pillar to post game where it was in the snow, and in the ice game, they're throwing ice at the players that we arguably should have won. Like, dang, but we were right there, right?
Yeah.
Then we had another at the Bills game where they beat us on a 61-yard walk-off. Yeah. So we were in that game, almost won that game. And then the playoff game, we almost beat them in Buffalo.
Well, that was Skylar.
No. But I'm not talking about Tua. I'm just talking about like McDaniel, Tua era. So you got, those are just three that I named. And I'm not sure if that's all of them, because I know we had some close ones. And even the one we won was super close. It was time expired. You know what I'm saying? Bruh, it's football. Yo, it's going to go back and forth. Now, here's my thing, Kadeem. Everybody's just, it's just too much overreacting. And I understand I want to win some of these games too. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like every single game we play the Bills, they mop the floor with us, bro. We're right there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not as panicked as everyone else is, bro. I'm just not, bro. And maybe that was a little, brush the surface examination. We're gonna go deeper, a more invasive examination, I guess, closer to the season. But we got Bills week 3. We're gonna really find out what time it is. But yeah, we had some scares, Kadeem, in camp. Not only today, but last week too, with Tyreek. Waddle didn't play and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I guess the biggest thing to come out of day one of the Lions joint practice was Chop Robinson, I think, in a in a play in which there was a loose ball against the Lions. Chop Robinson stayed down, looked to kind of like clutch at his shoulder / arm. The car came out, carted into the or into the training room, and Dolphin social media lost their mind. Absolutely lost their mind. In the UK Dolphins group, I just, all I did was put out the tweet saying, Chop Robinson had to leave the field with the car. Oh my days, the Dolphin strength and conditioning team, and then it's just negativity. And I think the one thing which, in the moment, I understand, everyone's going to think the worst. But I think the one thing to remember in all practices, not just joint practices, quite often the medical car is brought out because it's the quickest way to transport a player from the field to the to the locker room where they can get checked out. I've got a Seahawks friend who reminded me of the time when DK Metcalf went
during the game.
DK Metcalf, medical car, and they're like, "Oh my days, that's it, season done." He had to go toilet. Just had to go toilet.
He had to drop a deuce. Dog had to drop a deuce, and then he had to get there fast. I.e., Paul Pierce in the wheelchair game. Yeah, but that's a little different. Paul Pierce is a little different than DK.
So about an hour or two after, joint practice finishes, Chop puts a Instagram photo out and says, essentially I'm all good. And everyone's like, thank goodness. But I think Dolphins fans are just, and again, I understand. This is across all 31 other teams. You see medical car, you think the worst. But I definitely think in practice especially, it can sometimes just be a precaution, and it's the quickest way to get someone, instead of a 5-10 minute walk, we'll just jump in a car, 30 seconds, 1 minute. So Chop is okay. Everything else is a whole other conversation. But what did you make initially of, the news that Chop got injured and all that kind of stuff?
Initially, it was where if there's a place where we can afford it, that's it right there. And then it's like, and the first thing I thought was, yo, the cart came out. Did they get the cart out because he couldn't move, because he couldn't walk, or because it's the fastest way to where they need to get to? That was my first initial thought. Then you just said, he came on Instagram and posted something. He says, Chop himself, I'm good, y'all. Nothing serious. In quotations. I'm good, y'all. Nothing serious. So sound like he's going to be around for week 1. If that's how I interpret, I'm good, y'all. Nothing serious. Because it's a little bit more than, if you're not here for week 1, it's a little not, you're not good. So that's how I interpret that. So yeah, man, you're going to get the Knicks. And everyone in my other group chat just thinks only the Dolphin players are getting hurt, bro. Like, only Dolphin players are getting hurt this year. Like, bro, I took a picture of this something on the TV earlier. Oh, here's some preseason injury report. Let's go. Rashawn Slater, starting left tackle for the Chargers. Starting left tackle, just got paid. Their franchise left tackle out of here. Matt Stafford, everyone hears what's going on with him. Landon Dickerson sounds like a big piece for the Eagles. Lucas Niang for Washington. Rondale Moore, Anthony Richardson, Najee Harris. Bro, oh, there goes that picture. I can't keep going. That thing's gone. But yeah, bro, it's not only Dolphin players. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to happen. Every year is going to happen. That's why, might as well plug this right now. That's why you wait to draft your fantasy football team and until you know who's going to be around for the beginning of the season. And since I just invoked fantasy football, if you want to play fantasy football with us this year, Kadeem Simmons and myself included, the returning championship Chuck, Charlie Touche, aka returning champ. If you want to play in the league with us, hit us up at gotimedolphins@gmail.com. In the subject, put fantasy football. We're going to see how many people we get, see how many leagues we got to start. Maybe it's 2 leagues. And if there are 2 leagues, we'll probably just have a relegation system set up for next season, and people can move up into the champion league, and people who stunk up the joint could be relegated. Who knows? We not sure, but we'll just hit us up if you want to play. We play every year, every season. We played 3 seasons so far. And all the returning champs came back, myself included. I will be there. But back to reality, Kadeem, to just mix it up with fantasy football and injuries. You got Tyreek Hill and Waddle back on the practice field today. Is that accurate?
Well, coach said they would be, but they weren't. But again, it sounds like it's more day to day, and it could just be a case of today's not the day, they'll be back tomorrow. But they are essentially okay.
All right.
But no,
so
I was just gonna say, like Jordan Love just banged his thumb. He's out for a week or two. Like, remember when Justin Fields, like, oh my day, broke car, like season's over. No, Justin Fields is fine as well. Like, it's again, I get it. I had to say in the UK chat, the Dolphins don't have an any worse injury luck than any other team in the NFL. It's just that we only see, the injury Dolphins have. I jumped in the conversation on social media where, so, I guess this is a good time to talk about it. The Lions linebacker, what's dude's name? That like no one knows who dude was before he invoked the Miami Dolphins name, and it's just like, really, bro, like, what are we doing? So let's double check. Let's go through our group chat, because my guy started talking the most, for lack of a better phrase, doo-doo. And so yeah, Grant Stewart. Listen, no idea who you are. You got dunked on by Julian Hill during practice. You might want to stay silent. But he comes out and says, I don't know if they're ready. I'm going to keep it a stack. I've played at other places and played against that team last year and during practice against that team twice when I was in Tampa. I don't know if they practice how we practice. I'm excited to see our guys for sure, and I'm excited to get out there and do something against somebody else who doesn't know every in and out of what we're doing. And like I said, today he went up against Julian Hill, and Julian Hill dunked on his head.
Of all
so
people,
what we doing?
Julian
Yeah.
Hill.
So, bro, you might want to be quiet. But anyway, so that conversation happened, and then someone was like, "This is why the Dolphins have so many injuries, because they don't practice well." So I just had to come in and go, haven't the Lions suffered a lot of injuries under Dan Campbell? And the person was like, yeah. I was like, then there we go. Injuries happen in the NFL. Now, after what dude said and he got dunked on by Julian Hill, it does sound like the Lions just dominated day one, both on offense and defense. What do you make of that? The news coming out from beat writers from both Dolphins and Lions that this was a plus for the Lions and a major negative for the Dolphins.
Bro, remember when the Dolphins and the Eagles had joint practice?
Thank you.
And Brandon Graham came out and said, yo, when we played the Dolphins in practice, we knew we were going to the Super Bowl and we were going to see them in the Super Bowl. Brandon Graham said this. Like, the captain of the team, like, yo, we just knew, dang, boy, we're going to have to see these boys again. That's how good they were in practice. And then Tua didn't hold up, is what he said. You know what I'm saying? Did we go to the Super Bowl that year, Kadeem?
We didn't, nope.
We didn't go to Super Bowl. Did we win a playoff game that year?
No, we did not, no.
Oh, we didn't. So all that stuff about, look how good the Dolphins are in practice, it doesn't carry over to translates to Super Bowls. Does it?
No, not
it doesn't. So when I hear all this stuff in practice about all the Dolphins getting the floor mopped with them, like I should believe that though, right?
It's crazy because people want to. Yeah, listen, I made the exact same point when the Eagles, probably the best team in the NFL, were talking like, "Yo, this Dolphins team is special." Like, we thought they were going to be, facing us, this Sunday. A few fans ran with that. Same way when Ben Johnson, after the game against the Dolphins on Sunday, yeah, this Dolphins offense is special. Their run game is very, very good. That doesn't really go viral. When Dan Campbell said the Dolphins are good, that doesn't go viral. And again, not to beat up on Omar Kelly, the Dolphins beat writer. When Omar Kelly says anything positive about the team, he's met with, "Oh, but this guy sleeps during practice. He has no idea what he's talking about. Like, don't listen to this clown." But when it's something negative, the beat writers are saying it.
It's not just Omar Kelly though. It's all of them. It's
Of course,
any
yeah.
positive report. Oh, I got to see it to believe it. To do it in the regular season. Come on now. But when it's something negative, it's fact. It's the gospel, Kadeem. It's like, yo, I knew it. I knew it all along. We would have got away with it if it wasn't for you measling kids.
What's funny as well, and again, I'm not surprised that a Dolphins offense missing Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Alec Ingold, friend of the podcast, Austin Jackson, somewhat struggled against a relatively healthy Lions team. It does sound like the run game, was good. And from all the reports that we've been reading, it essentially sounds like Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown just cooked the Dolphins. Yeah, bro. But then, like, I'm not just saying this. I will bring up the screenshot. It does sound like a few times the Dolphin defenders got to Jared Goff for what would have been a sack, and they just let the play continue for a completion. It's like, well, because again, it sounds like it wasn't a very physical practice on purpose. It sounds like the Shroud, whatever his name, dude, was tackling guys to the ground. And again, it's like the Dolphins are in a situation where it feels like other teams' defense are taking liberties with our players, saying, hey, you guys are quote unquote soft, so we're going to do whatever we want. But 5 Yard Lee, I spoke to 5 Yard Lee on the phone. He made a very good point. When people say a team is soft, they tend to talk about the defense because no one really says an offense is soft, do they? It's normally like this defense is soft, and yet everyone raves about Anthony Weaver and want him to take the team over for Mike McDaniel. So it's like, what is soft about this Dolphins team? And I feel like when you ask that question, most people just go, oh, they can't win. It's like, no, like not winning in cold weather, in my opinion, isn't really a soft issue, or not beating winning teams isn't necessarily a soft issue, because Justin Herbert has the exact same problems in terms of like beating winning teams, but no one really labels the Chargers soft. It's just, it's Justin Herbert. It's fine. Also, nice glasses.
Hey, thank you, bro. I'm channeling my big boy from Outkast right now.
I was thinking more Flow Rider, but same difference.
Yo, what you make of Jalen Ramsey on the Pivot podcast? Basically saying not really saying no more than what we've told everybody Jalen Ramsey said or alluded to. You know what I'm saying? But now that it's on the Pivot podcast and him saying he wanted to go to a respectable coach, does it mean Coach McDaniel was not respectable, or he didn't respect him?
Again, there's so much. So there are some reports saying that Jalen Ramsey routinely turned up late to practice, which is a difficult situation. And again, this goes back to the whole, well, Jalen Ramsey, because he also said that part of the reason he wanted to come to Miami wasn't necessarily for football reasons, wanted to enjoy the sun and all that kind of stuff. So really, you're coming to the franchise not fully football focused, if that makes sense. It's essentially I'm going to Miami, it's a retirement home. I can chill. You play under Vic Fangio and you complain about how Vic Fangio treated you, but Vic Fangio is one of the most respected defensive coaches in the league. He leaves and wins a Super Bowl with the Eagles. So not to trash on Jalen Ramsey, he just sounds like this is how he's been his entire NFL career. He gets upset, kicks up a fuss, leaves. It wasn't my fault. It was the other team. It's like, bro, at some point, look at yourself. Are you behaving like a professional? And if you're not, then the blame is on you as well. But what did you think?
I think when Chris Greer came out and said he didn't ask for a trade, he didn't ask for a raise, we didn't ask to trade him, there was some, and it was mutual. Usually you can never believe when someone says it's mutual. And I don't want to say it was really mutual, because I doubt that if it hadn't come up, I doubt the Dolphins would have said, hey, what do you think about this? You know what I'm saying? So I think there's a way to say it was mutual, but someone had to have the conversation first, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that being said, I don't even think the Steelers are winning 8 games this year, Kadeem.
Bro, they got Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. Like, what are we doing out here?
That's my point, bro. Like, I think Aaron Rodgers is grits. I think he's done. I think he's cooked, bro. So, and then for me, it's like, yo, what happens if that happens? Aaron Rodgers went to the Paper Planes, nothing. Aaron Rodgers goes to the Steelers, nothing. Like, man, like, bro, man, I hate to see it because I'm cool with Aaron Rodgers. I'm also cool with Mike Tomlin, and I hate to see Aaron Rodgers ruin Mike Tomlin's record. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But man, I think it's gonna happen. Like, I really do.
But then again, it goes back to the whole.
And then Jalen Ramsey is gonna want out.
Yeah, it goes back to the whole when it's a positive player. So Teron Armstead, you're like, yo, guys, I'm done. I can't keep on playing. But he's still in the building. He's still helping out. Speaks highly of Tua, of coach, all that kind of stuff. No one wants to hear what Teron Armstead has to say. No one whatsoever. But when it's someone negative, and again, I understand and I get it. It's people who have a negative outlook on this team, essentially having affirmations about what they believe. It's like, yeah, cool, fair enough. I don't blame them for that because I'm sure you're the same. My social media is essentially made up of people who largely believe what I believe about the Dolphins and all this other kind of stuff. I don't really see the point of filling my timeline with negativity. Not because I don't believe it exists, but I don't want to be starting an argument 24/7. So, listen, if you only want to listen to Jalen Ramsey and negative reports, that is completely fine because I don't necessarily think they're lying. But there's two sides to every story, and if the Dolphins really were this bad, we would be having the first overall pick, but we haven't. Like, we've just suffered our first losing season out of Mike McDaniel.
If you look at, I forgot who was it. Maybe I could find it. Let's see who it was. Someone said we were going to be 5-12 this year. Let's see. I think it's in the Sherrod Steve chat. Let's go. Shout out to Sherrod Steve. Had Sherrod Mini at the Dolphins training camp. Nah, it's not in there. It's probably on it is on it's on IG. Hold on. Let's get there. Fill for me real quick, Kadeem.
Yeah, of course. Just seeing some more reports. So Dolphins edge rusher Chop. Again, we know Chop is fine, but apparently had nothing to do with his head. And we'll see. We'll see how he responds, and hopefully it's not too bad. There was also, I believe, Tua was asked about, how do you, with something like this, do you kind of ignore it? And he was like, no, we attack it head on. So again, we'll see how the Dolphins respond tomorrow. If there's no Hill or Waddle, then I imagine it's probably going to be most of the same. But again, we saw what happened after one day of joint practice against the Bears. And then we saw how, the Dolphins, again, it was second string, but the Dolphins outperformed the Bears for the majority of that game. And better quarterback play probably has that game done and dusted by halftime, if we're completely honest.
USA Today has the Bills going 13-4, Patriots going 8-9, Paper Planes going 7-10, and the Dolphins going 5-12. But I don't trust nothing from the USA Today because they also have, where is it? I seen something crazy over here. Oh, the Broncos winning the division 12-5 over the Chiefs 11-6. But there's something else that I thought was even more crazy. Like, what is going on here? And I can't remember where it was. I have to find it. But yeah, so it looks like we're going to have the third pick in the draft, according to the USA Today, Kadeem.
I can only imagine if that happens, then, as you said before, the chances are,
my bad.
The chances are Tua got hurt, missed significant time. And again, at that point, there's a genuine conversation. Do you blow this up? Does Greer go? Does McDaniel go? Does Tua go? Does A-Chain go? Like, you have to have a genuine conversation, but we haven't even played our second preseason game, and everyone's already screaming, blow up and start again. So it's just Dolphin Twitter, I guess.
Hey, anything else before we get in overtime?
If you have emailed us For fantasy, we have seen it. We'll be getting back to you very, very shortly. But essentially, I think it's fair to say if you've emailed us and you was part of the league last year, then 100% like we got you. So
hold on. Just for clarification though, even if you were a part of the league last year, we still need you to email us though.
Oh yes, definitely yes.
We still need that to happen. We gotta know what we got. But y'all know what time it is. Stay positive, test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Big Boy Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's showtime. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time.
Whenever I throw a variation to the outro, I mess it up, bro. It's like, oh wait, that's not how it goes. You feel me? Like I have a false start.
Just stick to the script. Stick to the script. You mentioned injury news earlier. We know that Alexander Mattison is now out for the season.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised dude even walked off the field when he first got hurt because that looked super serious. The Dolphins had Jamal Williams in the building, decided to not pick him up. Instead, they picked up, was it Mike Boone? And let's double check the name as well, because for my life, I'm missing so much stuff. So Mike Boone and a guy from the Pittsburgh Steelers whose name was so many messages. Aaron Shamklin. So the Dolphins, Aaron Shamklin, Mike Boone, who also fumbled against the Lions. What did you make about the decision to pick up those two guys and not Jamal Williams?
I can't remember where I heard Mike Boone's name from. I want to say Denver so bad, but I'm not sure where I heard his name from. And I'm not sure if it's attached to being good either. I'm not saying that it's attached to being bad, but I thought Mike Boone was okay. I thought he was like, oh, he's all right. But I can't remember off the top if I'm being honest with you. And the other, I never even heard of the other person.
Yeah, the other person. So again, in very typical Dolphins fashion, the Dolphins pick up, and again, no disrespect to him, Aaron Shamklin. And then people go in, once again, Chris Greer being cheap at running back, and it's just like, so then someone had to, and quite often when I say someone, it's the same person over and over again. I'm getting to the point where, I know I've called him up before, said to come on the podcast, he didn't want to come, that's completely fine. But yeah, so someone responded to this person and said, the Dolphins traded up for not only Devon Achane, but also Jalen White. But Chris Greer has not been cheap at running back. Obviously, they then pick up Mike Boone. I took it to mean they are impressed with Ollie Gordon II so much to the point where it's like, we aren't going to have someone stand in his way. And it's also RB3/RB4. Yes, Jamal Williams would be great, but as you pointed out in our group chat, it's like 2 years too late. So what are we doing out here? You know what I mean?
So yeah, my thing is you need depth, you need bodies. Like the same reason why people bring in 5 quarterbacks in a camp is because if you only had 3, their arms will fall off by the end of camp. You know what I'm saying? You actually need, like, you have 90 people on your roster in camp. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you need bodies. So in the event that now you only have 3 running backs, you had 4. In the event that someone else goes down, you have to have 1 in the chamber. You have to have the clip loaded. So this is their way of saying, all right, well, let's go according to our rankings. Yo, we talk about fantasy football. When we play fantasy football, Kadeem, I know there's like 8 players that I want on my team that I can't fit on my roster right now. So as the roster depletes, I go back to that list of players that I know I want to go to. It's the same thing in the real world, but by position. Jamal Williams, I love Jamal Williams to death. I wanted him a long time ago. After I told the Dolphins to go get James Conner and Leonard Fournette and put them in the backfield together, they didn't get neither one. I forgot what year that was, but both of them did good that year. And then after that, it was Jamal Williams. Oh, before Jamal Williams, it was David Montgomery.
Yes.
We didn't go get David Montgomery either. Look at that. Now Jamal Williams is like 2 years too late. It's unfortunate, but even now, I would still like to see him in a Dolphins uniform and just. I love me some Jamal Williams. And maybe I would have to get into anime if he was a Dolphin.
You should get into anime regardless. But yeah, again, it's nothing wrong. Dolphins fans want to see rookies and ones they like get significant playtime. And yet then the Dolphins, again, to my belief, is like, okay, we saw enough from Ollie Gordon against the Chicago Bears and through practice so far that, he's going to be our RB3. So now, essentially, the Madison injury has allowed Gordon to step up and will bring in someone to essentially replace Ollie Gordon. And yet that's still not good enough. Listen, Devon A-Chan is a standout starter. And I'm not saying the Dolphins shouldn't bring in someone to push him. But me personally, if they're going to invest any money in any new players, it has to be offensive line and corner. Like that should be a priority, not RB3, RB4.
I don't know what Dolphins team you're following, bro, but we had many opportunities in the past 5 seasons to bring in the beef up the O-line.
Of course,
you keep hitting this O-line drum as if it's gonna happen, bro. I thought we were gonna draft 4 O-linemen last year, bro, or 4 months ago. I thought.
So who's been the O-line drum then? Who's been the O-line drum?
I thought we were gonna draft 4 O-linemen and like a couple D linemen. Bro, we did the exact opposite and took like 4 D linemen and 1 O lineman, bro. We're not gonna address the O line, bro. It is what it is. This is Chris Greer's flaw, and I love me some Chris Greer. I'm still here until I take this conductor's hat off. I'm still here. You feel me? Now I'll be real with you. I'll be real with you. The train kind of slowed down. I kind of slowed down the Chris Greer train. I was operating it a little too fast. You know what I'm saying? So I slowed it down a little bit. And I started thinking about, maybe I need to get off at the next stop. But I didn't get off. And I'm still operating the train. But he's blowing it with the O-line, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he's still my dog, but he has to fix that part up.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, it's the Dolphins really make moves that we as fans like, and that kind of leads to us hating every single thing they do. But we haven't gone anywhere. So hopefully, they will prove us wrong. But it's a work in progress. Anything else before we get up out of here?
Exclusive fantasy football content coming to Patreon. Shout out to all of our patrons. We're going to have the average white guy weekly on Patreon when the season starts with fantasy football content. And even before the season starts, we're going to get everybody ready for the fantasy football season.
So until then, we shall see you soon. Peace.